Hi all, my name is Stuart Shipp. I'm an advisory solution consultant based in New Zealand, and I'm dedicated to the Alliance and Channels ecosystem. And what I want to do today is talk to you about thoughts on operating your ServiceNow platform for the maximum return to your organization. So first, we're going to take a quick look at some statistics and thoughts from some analysis from companies like Bain & Company and Accenture that have done some broad research into how well cloud platforms are being used. In an Accenture report, Sky High Hopes Navigating the Barriers to Maximizing Cloud Value, 750 senior business and IT professionals at large enterprise across 11 industries in 17 countries were surveyed. It found that just 37% of companies say they're achieving the full value expected on their cloud investments. So while value realization has never been more important, only 45% of business and IT leaders said they are very satisfied with their cloud outcomes. Moreover, just 29% are completely confident that their organization's cloud migration initiatives will deliver the expected value at the expected time. So strategically, for all of us, customers, users, advisory consultants, architects, developers, and platform owners, it's really important to focus on the power of the technology that's being invested in and understand the myriad ways that the platform can help to reduce these perceived gaps and increase the return on the investment that's being made in them. Changes in enterprise technology lie at the root of major shifts in the economy and in the ways that companies do business across nearly every industry. The shift to the cloud and software as a service model dramatically reduces the costs of implementing new features in entire businesses. Bain & Company produced a report around trends shaping the future. In this particular segment, this was focused on tech-savvy companies in banking and consumer products as an example. They were able to show a marked increased trends in success and ultimately shareholder return, so actual value of money return, for those that continually invest in technology versus those that did not. So continual investment and usage of technology delivers value and higher returns. But as well as knowing continuing investment improves our ROI, it's important to know where to focus and what needs to be available to enable us in the correct places to actually achieve those results. So again, from this same Bain & Company report, to help companies begin to understand which technology trends will matter most to the future of enterprises, Bain analyzed more than 1,000 technology-related initiatives, including new implementations, due diligences, and investments from client engagements with many of the world's largest and most dynamic enterprises. They deliberately looked past trends that are already well established, for example, cloud computing APIs, and avoided trends that could take more than a decade to take shape, such as quantum computing. The research identified 6 rising trends that promise to change the way enterprises will work. So we have the interaction explosion, this idea of rich engagement to your customers, that omni-channel. We have connected intelligence, so your big data models, your AI, your machine learning. We have distributed meaning, bringing the data together. Limitless modularity, so that ability to grow and evolve with applications. And then our cybersecurity arms race, that resilience, robustness, stability to help secure the business. And of course, perpetual motion, so the ability to change faster. So why do these matter? Well, these areas need to be addressed or available in the platform of choice to make sure that you can grow with these points and continue to achieve value. So overall, looking at the last 3 slides, we have a gap of opportunity to gain more ROI and improve business outcomes related to our cloud investments. We then have a particular trend that we must have capability for to then enable the correct outcomes that will continue to provide value to our business as we move forward. So let's jump into ServiceNow and look as to where that fits and how we can enable those outcomes and ROI by looking to implement initiatives with the platform and setting up our continual service improvement. So often or not, what does ServiceNow mean to you, your business, or your customers? And often we see that responses, the IT ticketing, ITSM, and ITIL in space. And we absolutely are a market leader there. That's still an established part of our portfolio. But ServiceNow is actually a lot further along from that now. And I want to quickly take you through the ideas of the platform and how that would work. And I must give credit to my colleague, Mike Robinson, for the next slide as he put this together. But I like the way that it rolls because it gives a good overview of the ServiceNow platform. So at the bottom, we have all these systems of record, disparate sort of HCMs, ERPs, Salesforce, Workday, Oracle. And these all do great jobs. They all work in the way that we want them to work. And businesses and companies have invested in these and licensed, and we're not trying to rip and replace these. But what ServiceNow is trying to do is act as that really nice seamless integration layer that sits on top of these, ingesting all that third-party data and then proffering that out to users so that in a more seamless and usable way. So we're not, again, trying to rip or replace. We're simply trying to ingest and put that into one platform to allow for the proper analytical kind of overview that businesses and companies are looking for. And then, of course, we have our single platform, single architecture, single data model with our workflow and our flows, our data capabilities, our security capabilities, our AI and Gen AI, and of course, our user interface. And what ServiceNow has on top of that is our workflow capabilities. And as we've just discussed, we're very strong in that ITSM space, so IT service management, IT operations management, but we also have the asset management pieces, the security operation pieces, the OT, the operational technology. And ServiceNow is much more than just ITSM. We have our customer workflows, customer service management, field service management, order management, financial services, health, public sector, telco, manufacturing. And in all of these spaces, ServiceNow has employed people from those industries to ensure that the pieces that we build adhere to those frameworks and what you would expect to see. We've got our employee workflows, so HR service delivery, we've got legal service delivery, workplace, health and safety, employee relations, employee growth. We've got our finance and supply chain and operations workflow. So moving into risk management, vendor risk management, BCM, business continuity management, procurement. You've got your environment, social and governance. This is very important. Our carbon footprints, it's all becoming part of something that most companies are trying to track. And then our strategic portfolio management, application portfolio management. And of course, our creator workflows. And this is a really key bit. We have the capability to be an app engine. You can go to any part of any business. And if it's a workflow or it needs some automation or repetitive tasks, that can be built out inside of the creator workflows and our app engine capability. And then, of course, we've got this engagement layer. So ServiceNow looks to service all personas. So your customer, your partners, your employees, your suppliers, your vendors. That's part of how we work. And then on top of this, we have our service store ISVs and our system integrators and global and regional that help to empower even more capability inside of that platform. So I've built out an overview of what the platform can do. But what I want to do now is take those trends we're looking at, because we need to make sure that we're able to access and be able to grow inside of those trends inside of our ServiceNow platform. So if you can remember, we had the interaction explosion, that idea of rich engagement to your customers. And of course, we have that. We have the ServiceNow UI. We have that integration piece for the engagement layer for customers, partners, and employees. The second one was connected intelligence, referring to big data models, AI, and machine learning. And absolutely, ServiceNow has the AI, the Gen AI, the process optimization, the machine learning capabilities. And then, of course, we have that distributed meaning, so bring the data together. And as I just mentioned, 100% ServiceNow is looking to be that integration layer, ingesting that data from all those systems of record, not rip and replacing, and putting that into a more seamless and usable way. Limitless modularity, so the ability to grow and evolve with applications. Of course, we've got creator workflows, we've got our scoped applications that we can do this with, and we can build these with speed. Our cybersecurity arms race, so the resilience, the robustness, stability. So we have the platform security and capabilities, and we also have apps like security incident response, threat intelligence, vulnerability response, continual upgrades, and new family releases. And then perpetual motion, the ability to change faster. And we have workflows, flows, editors, and platform features that allow us to build and deliver quickly and fit within the space. And there was a PwC publication under the strategy and business logo. And there was a snippet from there that I wanted to read. And it said, customer expectations are constantly evolving an accelerating race for the most advanced, hyperconnected, seamless experiences. IT functions are under unrelenting pressure to support leading edge capabilities such as data analytics, cybersecurity, automated processing, and integration with third-party systems. And the easiest way to do this is through platforms that connect everyone to the same cloud-based cross-industry digital infrastructure. And I thought this was a great description of ServiceNow. So I'm not going to talk to all of these use cases, but what I did want to quickly mention is, if you have a look across these are all places where, if you're having these conversations inside of your businesses, or you're having initiatives that are revolving around these, ServiceNow is in a position to deliver these. So it's just really important to understand the capacity and the broad stretch and reach of the ServiceNow platform that you're investing in. And I'm going to quickly belabor onto the creator workflows and the App Engine, because ServiceNow was not built specifically for an ITSM framework. It was originally designed to allow any process or flow or manually repetitive tasks to be automated. And this is a core capability we should not forget. And so this was from our founder, Fred Luddy. The original concept was build a cloud-based platform to enable regular people to create meaningful applications to route work through an enterprise. So whether you decide to install or build apps for your business, there should be a solution for every department in the enterprise when it comes to ServiceNow. So we at ServiceNow did a survey of 266 developers to learn what departments they're building solutions for. And we found that they're building apps for pretty much every department in their companies. The possibilities with the App Engine are just endless. And there's some statistics around building out apps, amplifying the cloud capability, and CSI that sits firmly in that space. So we're predicting 750 million new business apps in the next 3 years, and you need to be on that low-code, high-speed platform to enable this. And of course, looking at Gartner and Forrester, who rank ServiceNow App Engine as leader, we can see we're right in the right space for that hyper-automation. So let's recap. We have the market perceived gap, we have the perceived trends and needs of where we need to engage, and we have the platform that can deliver. Now we have to connect all of those elements. So continual service improvement, or CSI, is a method to identify and execute opportunities to improve IT processes and services, and to objectively measure the effects of those efforts over time. Platform owners should be focused on how to understand where the needs are and where they can achieve and measure the value once delivered using the platform. So we put together a few bullet points for this. So first, we want to put value first. We want to amplify benefits of the business to deliver value. We want to design for flexibility and speed. That's fairly self-explanatory. We want to engage with your workforce and culture. And this is really important, and it'll come up in the 2 examples that I'm going to go through next. But you need to align with and understand the company culture and what people need to adapt or achieve. What can we deliver? How can we deliver? And how does this give us value? Adopt a services mindset. So often or not, we tend to take these amazingly large enterprise-wide cloud capabilities and we deploy them with a project, and then it's just an asset that sits in the corner. We want to move away from that. We want to treat technology as a set of services that a company can consume and not just that delivered asset. So definitely adopt that services mindset. And then plot the journey before starting. So having set a direction based on a value achievement, try and set a sequence of milestones on the way. I.e., there could be a cloud-based capability that if you deliver early, could be an AI bot, could be a virtual agent. But as soon as you've done that capability, there are other initiatives and services inside of the business that can then use that. And then you can continually improve based on early releasing of something that can be a core component for something else. And then organize by capability. So try and be a little bit tool agnostic, review the needs and priorities. It's a combination of the systems, processes, and functions that will deliver value. And of course, be agile and user-centric. Look for ways to realize benefits faster. Think of your discrete delivery components and that scaled agile framework and DevOps. So here's my first example. I've anonymized it, obviously, from the logo, but we can at least talk through what happened. So this particular customer, they started as ITSM and quickly adapted to ITSM, including a CMDB. And I've labeled this project because I want us to keep thinking about moving away from ServiceNow delivering a project to ServiceNow being an enterprise-wide capability tool that achieves more ROI for you as a business across the board. And this is the kind of story that went through with this particular customer. So they had a very engaged platform owner, and he was always working with the business and thought leadership at the company to understand regularly any initiatives and priorities that were coming through, and was always there feeding in the ServiceNow platform capabilities that can match the strategy. So the business didn't have to think about procuring other elements or procuring other systems. they were already being informed that this could be done inside of a platform that they already owned. But if the platform owner wasn't there and in those conversations, that would never have happened. And this led to more and more pieces coming into the platform. So there was portal initiatives that came through that. There was extra catalog initiatives that came through that. And the product owner quickly recognized the continual benefits and needs, and then set up a team to work on CSI along with their BAU. And then this team, they would, along with the product owner continuing engagement, they would set up walk-up days and discovery sessions, engaging with all parts of the business regularly. And this would lead to automations for multiple areas of that business as they understood pieces that could seamlessly fit inside of the platform that would realize cost achievements or process efficiencies, auditability needs, capabilities, approval needs, any of those, just by putting it into ServiceNow and having it automated and having it auditable and having it reportable. And as I said, there was multiple areas for this: postal services, floor delivery, referees complaints, bespoke expenses, catering services, company comms, etc. And inside of this as well, they discovered lots of disparate data sources that had key information that the business couldn't report on or couldn't report on well. And so bringing all of that under one roof allowed that to happen and make much better, more informed business decisions. And CSI continued to grow, and the demand grew. But then the platform gave them the ability for them to move into demand management, to automate this a little bit better, to allow it to come in from the business with an idea and then a demand that would then turn into a project. And then as those projects grew larger and budgeting requirements became more succinct, PPM was then introduced for a more structured framework, allowing them to budget, allowing them to get the right approvals, and also track build and releases to that value, making sure that when those pieces were being released, the value realization was being released with that. And CSI continues to this day, so the platform continues to be utilized for automating and providing value across the business using the plethora of platform capabilities. So at this point, we've moved away from that project initiation and moved into the enterprise. And then another customer, they started as CSM and FSM, a huge deployment engagement. But the platform owner there moved forward very closely with the business and the leadership and the sales team. So as contracts closed to signing, to understand any onboarding or complexity, including having to accommodate complex customers' data, bespoke processes and flows that can be targeted in ServiceNow. And the team then targeted some commonalities for those onboardings for customers and built these into the ServiceNow catalog and services default so they can be consumed moving forward for other customers. And they need a very adaptive and creative reporting strategy as new customers acquire specific reporting and targets. Again, with the flexibility of the platform, this can be achieved on a continual basis by creating database views, join tables, custom reporting table. So again, moving from that initial and very useful project, but making sure that the platform wasn't just becoming an asset and once it was deployed, always being that services-oriented mind that it can continually improve and help the business in many ways. So platform ownership is key. And if you don't have a strategy, maybe there's something you can think about or a capability, but it's an important message and role and message takeaway. Taking the platform for what is most likely initial project to the enterprise is key to the longevity, obviously, but also in terms of that investment into the cloud. So we want you to be the Metro D. We want ServiceNow platform and capabilities to be front of the house, engaging with the customer, understanding their needs, ensuring customer satisfaction and value. So if you take this on, think about going deeper to gain insights. Remember to develop that customer empathy, that connection, that understanding, see where value can be achieved. Lead with best practices, right? So align to your organization strategy, what they want to do. And again, think about providing that technology as a service, enabling the business to fulfill those needs. And then create and communicate value, understanding business leaders, creating that vision about ideal futures, that phased roadmap, thinking about crafting those robust future-proof strategies, and knowledge. Always be there knowing what is available coming through the platform to help solve those business and challenges, always keeping up to date. And then this allows you to convey that correct decision-making processes at the right place. So we've perceived gap of underutilization of cloud platforms at a time when the critical to maximize value realization is huge. We have the trends and areas of where to focus our initiatives on what we need to deliver on, and we have the platform that can provide the capabilities. So 3 key takeaways. Look to set up your form of CSI and product ownership for your ServiceNow platform. It could be small steps, it could be small things, and we understand that BAU takes up a lot of people's time, but it's really important that the business understands, the wider business understands the capability of that platform, and really invest inside of the investment, the monetary investment that you've made by being able to solve a lot more initiatives across the business as a whole. And that can obviously be those workflows initiatives, those different capabilities that are out of box. But again, you've got your creator workflow capabilities and the platform capabilities that should help you achieve that. And then that engagement, communication, and evangelism is key to your CSI. Alignment of ServiceNow to the key strategy and company initiatives, delivering and returning that measurable value and outcomes in all areas of the business using ServiceNow capabilities. So thank you for your time. I hope that was useful. We'd love to hear from you about your stories and your engagement and your CSI capabilities, things that have worked well, things that haven't. So if you have any of those, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.